This is the data cleaning tutorial for the big data class at Green Valley Ranch High School. So now that we have all of the survey data inside JUMP from Excel, and I showed you how to do that in a previous tutorial, I'm going to show you how to clean up your data and make it so that it's more easily analyzable. So remember in the previous tutorial I was talking about how the data in the gender and tactile content columns are a little bit messy. So up at the top here we have capital M and capital F for male and female, but as we go down the spreadsheet we see that not all of them are capitalized. So since JUMP doesn't know that capital M and lowercase m are the same category, we're going to do an easy way to fix it using JUMP. So all you really have to do is go into the columns header and go down here to the recode option. So coding is just a term in data science that's used to define the symbols that you're using for certain variables. So in this case, we're doing tactile content. And we want to tell JUMP that lowercase n and capital M are the same thing. So I'm going to click on lowercase n and just replace it with a capital. Same with lowercase y. And keep this in place here and click OK. And you can see by scrolling down through the data, it changed everything to capitals in that column. Right, and I'm just going to quickly do the same thing for male and female. And we're all set. And probably an easier way than scrolling to check this is to go into Analyze, Distribution, male and female. And now there's only 2 categories instead of 4 categories like there were in the previous tutorial. Alright, so now we're going to look at outliers in our data. So sometimes when you're dealing with data collection, you just get one weird number that maybe shouldn't be included in the analysis. And to identify outliers, we can go into the Analyze tab and do distribution and our weight guesses. Click here, click OK, and it's going to bring up a histogram. You can see here that somebody guessed around 5,000, somebody guessed around 2,000, and a bunch of people guessed around 1,000. So do you think that we should keep this data in the analyses? Well, it's kind of a judgment call, but I'm going to say that we should probably remove some of these data points. And when you're writing up your paper, make sure you write down how you decide which data points to exclude and which ones to keep, because that's very important if someone's going to replicate your work. So I'm just going to start by taking the top 3 and excluding them. And to do that, all you have to do is highlight these on the graph. You can actually see what row they are by mousing over them. This is row 322, so I'm just going to scroll down real quick to show you. Right. So basically what's happening here is that all the dots that I highlighted here are being highlighted on your spreadsheet. So all the data between these things are linked. Alright, so I'm going to right click on the data point and then select hide and exclude. So this red circle with a line through it means that the data is going to be excluded from any subsequent analysis, and these goggles mean that it's going to be hidden from any graphs. You can see that even on this graph the data points are already gone. So if I go back to Analyze, Distribution, and redo the weight guess distribution and click OK, it makes a new graph excluding those data points. Alright, so I know we talked about this a little bit in the previous tutorial, but the way the program is calculating these outliers, these dots out here, is by looking at the interquartile range, which is between the 3rd quartile and the 1st quartile, and doing an equation, and all data points that lie outside of that range are considered outliers. So the way I'm choosing to clean up the data is just to get rid of all of the outliers here. Once again, I'm going to right click, hide and exclude, and they're gone. Alright, so I'm going to analyze one more time. And there's a few outliers here. I'm going to repeat. Hide and exclude. Reanalyze. Now there's no more outliers. Now the way it's a judgment call whether to exclude that many outliers or not, and you can do your own analysis and decide. But one of the things that you can note here is that the mean is getting lower every time we take out outliers, because most of our outliers were large outliers and not small outliers. Also, it seems like the median, well, actually past here doesn't matter, but the median and the mean are getting closer in this first three, and then the median stays the same here. Actually, they're getting closer all the way through. So that's a good indication that if the median and the mean are really similar, it's a good indication that your data is a good normal distribution. So yeah, so remember all the data points that you want to click on. You can right click and choose to hide or exclude them. And when you click on an entire bar in the bar chart, it also will highlight where they are in these other charts that you have up, which is really neat. And once again, also on the spreadsheet. So this tutorial is just illustrating how you can hide data without actually deleting it, because maybe you changed your mind and you want to include more of the data points that you excluded, and if you delete them, it's going to be really hard to re-add them. But here you just have to right-click on the data and click hide and exclude again, and it goes away. We're back into the analysis. Right? I hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions.